Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I am your host, Dylan Cooper, with the constant ghost over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And guys, we are here this week to preview the Unremembered Empire by Dan Abnett. And it's been a while since we've had good old Dan. I think it's been since No Fear.
At the halfway point of the heresy, too. So this is kind of a climactic book. It's supposed to bring a culmination of quite a few books together, and I think you do see that as you read through.
Yeah, and we also have like some answers too from some of the short stories as well. We start seeing some characters pop up, kind of find out like where people are and resolve all that. But before we get too far into the book, we are drinking and we also have all of our shit to plug like always. If you ever want to just chat with us, you can do that by joining our Discord. It's a lot of fun on there. You can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. You can also give us a tip if you feel like contributing to the podcast. Anything that goes into the podcast, anything that you contribute goes right back into the podcast. You can email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the little bell. Let you know whenever we have a new episode out. If you're newer, they come out every Saturday at 4 a.m. Eastern time. And that's all of our shit. Alcohol. I will start because I have a nice one.
Yes.
I am drinking Three Floyds Brewing. It is. I'm pretty sure they're local to Indiana, right?
Yep, South Bend.
Yep. They have very good beer. Highly recommend them. I am drinking the Robert the Bruce, which is a really stupid name, but they have really cool fucking artwork. This is a Scottish style ale. It's very good.
That is really cool. I do love their artwork.
Yeah, they always have really cool shit.
And I am drinking. Are you ready?
C tier.
A Michelob Ultra.
Watching your figure.
I had a Super Bowl party. I went to one and I brought a bunch of these because everyone wanted them. And this is what's left over. I got really drunk off of wine at the Super Bowl.
Hey, man, I respect that. I drink like a lot, and it was one of those times where like I wanted to get drunk, and it just wasn't happening. I was like, man, this is weird.
Weird time. I just noticed as we started this podcast that my book is misprinted. I don't know if you can see this little paper tab up here.
Oh wow, what the hell is that?
It's just hanging out on one of the pages.
That's weird. Man, earlier, so Barnes and Noble's having like a President's Day sale, so I just ordered a bunch of books that don't have yet. Honestly, aren't too many left from Barnes and Noble that are available, which is annoying as hell. But whatever. So I went ahead and bought all the ones I could. And they kept showing me a bunch of ones in Spanish. I was like, why are you showing these to me? I didn't select that as my language or anything. Like, get that out of here. I don't know even what the hell that book is.
Interesting that it did that. Other Warhammer news, Total War Warhammer 3 came out this week, and I gotta say, I love it. It's been a great time.
Every time I look on my Steam, I just see like you're online. Granted, I know you leave your shit on all the time anyway, because I saw that like Total War 2, you had like
4,000 something.
Yeah, 4,000. Like there's no way. I don't think.
Yeah, my computer's dying, and that's probably why.
There's probably a good chance of it just running fucking hard for hours on it.
Yeah, but yeah, this is the newer one came out. I've been having a really good time on that. Maybe Dylan will join the future. I'm trying to look into what it would take to live stream that or something.
I don't know if your computer's gonna be able to do it.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
a whole new set of equipment that I have to get, so we'll see if that'll be a distant future kind of thing.
You built that computer like when I built mine. That was like we were in college.
Ancient times.
I mean, I graduated college 4 years ago, which is
walking around
my mind.
A bunch of crippled people.
I mean, basically.
So, Unremembered Empire. This is the first time, I think, in a review. Maybe not. Neither of us have finished the book yet. We both been very busy. But we have read a decent portion of it.
Yeah, we're about halfway.
I think this is so far it's an interesting book, but there's so many things that it almost reads like a short story to me, like a series of short stories.
Yeah. I'm gonna reiterate what like with Vulcan Lives, how like all the chapters are short. This is the same way, and I fucking love it so much.
It's great. I
I hope
really
this
do.
is like what it's like the rest of the books because it's stupid how they've had it before of being like, here's like 30 to 45 pages for a chapter. I'm like, why? I don't want to end like mid chapter.
A lot of their chapter breaks don't make a lot of sense. You have chapters that'll go previously for like 100 pages almost. I've seen like an insanely long
I'm pretty sure
short
that happened in
story.
Nemesis, and I was like, holy shit, is this ending?
Yeah, just really ridiculously long. And then the chapter right before that or after will be like 10 pages. And you're like, what is happening in this book?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna reposition myself here. Um, yeah, the Unremembered Empire, in my opinion, reads a lot like a short story book because each chapter there's almost like a new piece of the puzzle being added in from other books.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like it.
And I think the best thing to do in the review of this book, I think this book more than any other book we've had so far, the review is going to be almost more interesting than the review because we get to talk about where all these people are at so far.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to like bring in like where people have come from, especially like some of these books, like it's been so long that like we've seen some of them. Like we have we have like Pollux from the Crimson Fist.
Yeah.
Which hey, good call on that.
Yeah, it was kind of like
Actually, you had two good calls in this book.
I did. I'm kind of killing it today.
You are.
Has nothing to do with me already knowing things. Pretending that it's some idea that I randomly have.
Holy fuck, I'm a genius, guys. Think about it.
What if Horus betrayed the Emperor? Holy shit. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Isn't this series called the Horus Heresy? Dude, shut the fuck up. You don't know.
No idea. So, kind of going down the character list, we have Bootay Gilliman. So, the last time we saw Bootay Gilliman, we actually don't know canonically in the timeline when the last time we saw him was, because you can point out two different scenarios.
I would assume it was at the end of Betrayer.
It was either at the end of Betrayer or at the end of Fear to Tread.
Where was he? I mean, I guess at Fear to Tread would make the most sense because of Sanguineous.
I think Fear to Tread, that end scene happens in this book more than likely.
Yeah, it has to.
Because
I mean, Sanguineous is on the cover, so you know that they
yes,
come in here.
it doesn't start out with Sanguineous in the story. So I'm assuming at some point Sanguineous and Gilliman will meet or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters in here that we just literally don't know.
Well, I've been told a lot of them are kind of just there just to die.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's just important to hit maybe the ones that like we know probably will last through this book.
So kind of going down the list here, you have Titus Prado. I'm not really sure of what the role of master of the presiding centuria of the 13th Legion is. That's I think he's supposed to be like the honor guard of Bootay Gilliman from what I take so far in the book.
Yeah. I would say too, like as far as like Ultramarines go, I think Valentis, who's the Tetrarch, is important. The one that's the first captain, Augustin, he's going to be important.
Yep.
Yes. The other ones are probably just kind of whatever.
Yeah, so one thing that's pretty important to bring out is there's an entire section, a relatively large section, dedicated to the Librarius. Gilliman, if we recall from Know No Fear, he makes this statement about the Council of Nicaea after the Warbearers attack and all the demons become a thing, where he's like, I bet you that was engineered by our enemies to weaken us because we need the Librarius to defeat these. We get confirmation in this book that he reinstates the Librarius.
Yep.
And that is a bit of a point of contention between
Space Wolves.
Space Wolves and them.
Which I really like how that kind of went, because he's like, I mean, this isn't really a spoiler. He's like, "Are you guys gonna fucking turn me in for activating the librarians?" And they're like, and the librarian actually like reads his mind. He's like, "Actually, they kind of respect it."
Yeah, in the wolf, yeah, there are Space Wolves in here. One thing that I do find interesting, I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of like it, kind of don't. Is I am listening to the audiobook of this because I may or may not be playing Total War while listening to
I'm
the
not
audiobook
surprised
of
at all.
this. And the
But
Space
yeah, man, I've
Wolves
been super busy. Yeah, Total War came. I fucking know what you're doing, Gavin.
yesterday it was a lot of Total War. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the
Well, yeah,
Space
I as soon as I knew like Total War came out, I checked my Steam and I saw like 5 people. I was like, "Yep, I know what they're all doing."
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So they talk like they're from like Transylvania or something. Like I see, Mr. Gilliman. What exactly is it you want from us? Kind
I
of
just
thing.
always think of fucking the vampire and Scooby Doo, or it's just like nah, 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 nah. Just every time he talks, like I don't know why I think that voice every time. That's it.
Yeah, that is the way that they're portrayed, which I don't really mind. I think like it's supposed to be like that's with their teeth and everything. That's kind of how they're.
Nah, nah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly like that. So the space will say there they talk a little weird. Um, I don't really know a lot of these space marines, but let's go to there's a planet going on Sothis, where you have Barbarous Dantioch.
Who, if you remember, is the bad motherfucker of the Iron Warriors who fucked over the Iron Warriors, which just makes it even better.
It was pretty awesome. Dantioch is my favorite Iron Warrior character. He really fucks some shit up. I feel like Porterabo and them choose to ignore Dantioch's betrayal and talking about it because they find it almost like shameful to themselves that Dantioch was able to kick their ass.
Yeah, I think we should do kind of a quick review of that real quick, because especially if someone's new and they
Mhm.
didn't listen to that or even read any of the short stories, it's kind of important to know who he is. So
Yes.
Antioch is this, he was a captain, or I guess they call themselves warsmiths,
Warsmith, yeah.
who was left on this shitty ass planet, and he just fortified the fuck out of it. The Iron Warriors came and were like, "Hey, we're betraying the Emperor," and he's like, "Well, I'm not doing that."
Well, previous to that, Arcus was there, who was an Ultramarine, and he
Yes.
told Dantioch that the Iron Warriors had betrayed Horus or
She's like,
betrayed the
"I
Emperor.
ain't
Sorry.
doing that."
They'll probably betray Horus too. Who
Yeah, it
knows?
wouldn't surprise me at all. They get really butthurt. But yeah, so he fights the Iron Wars. It was supposed to be like a fucking like 1 day affair that he dragged out for like months. And then finally at the end, he traps them in his base and teleports onto their ship and fucking steals their ship.
Yeah. So him and Arcus get out of there, and they're on their way to help Gilliman and the Ultramarines at the end of the story. And the way they do that in this story is really interesting, kind of OP. I feel like some of the shit that they're doing. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, that just solves all of your problems. But they're basically helping to create the premise of this book and create the ending of a lot of books, which is they're showing how they're getting people to Ultramar.
Yeah. Which I mean, I think we can talk about the spotlight.
Yeah, it was a really interesting concept. So Dantioch found some sort of Xenos device that he's using to basically, instead of an astronomicon, like a lighthouse beacon kind of thing, they're using this device to help like show you can come to
Yeah,
Ultra.
it's they literally make like a fucking like spotlight on Ultramar is like how I like things the best way to describe it. And that's
Mhm.
what's like bringing everyone, like we talked about several times throughout the book, like or books. Just like, oh, there's this bright light. It must be the Astronomicon, and voila, they end up at Macragge. And like, what the fuck?
Right. A lot of these stories, and we'll see that with like Pollux, right? They have this idea that they're going to Terra, but they're not going to Terra. They were never going to Terra, so they ended up at Macree. Us,
Macragge.
Macragge. So you have Dantioch, the most badass warsmith around, badass Iron Warrior for sure.
He's also just like an old motherfucker who's just like limping by, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah. And then you have, I like how in the story they do From the Storm, which is like whoever comes in from the crazy warp. The first group is it's a group of Shattered Legions. One of the dudes, Euron Cleave, is an Iron Hand, and his rank has been deferred for mourning.
Which is fucking whatever, I guess.
Like, is he sure he's not a Raven Guard? You get a White Scar. This is literally the second named White Scar in all of the books. Timur Gantulga. He's fucking cool as shit.
Yep.
Doesn't really view. I don't think he has like a. The White Scars are very mystical people.
Yeah.
Very practical. They almost remind me of Space Wolves.
I can see it.
And the way their mentality is, he talks about like what time is and all that stuff to him, and I don't know. I just find the way they think very mystical. So you have him, and one of the things. So the way it's written in the book is these Shattered Legions are coming in, and Gilliman's talking about how he hears terrible stories from them, but the way he lists the Shattered Legions, right? He's like Iron Hands and the Raven Guard and the Salamanders, and those tell the worst stories. And I know he meant the group as a whole, but I like to think he ended on the Salamanders for a reason. The Salamanders, their stories are like, oh fuck.
It's a whole like one of them that I've seen.
Yes, it's super sad. So we have Alexis Pollock, the dumbest character we've met so far.
He at least made the worst mistake, but man, he has a quote in this book that made me I literally laughed out loud, just because it's the most fucking Imperial Fist thing ever. I'll talk about it here too, because it's not a fucking spoiler. He is asked by Gilliman to help fortify the planet. His fucking solution: we just had to build a wall.
That is literally what he does. It's really funny. It is so exactly true, because they're like, yeah, we've fortified the planet. And he's like,
I don't see no fucking walls.
He straight up Donald Trumps this entire planet. Because they're like, yeah, this is a huge thing for trade. He's like, oh yeah? Are they coming in legally? Because we're going to build a wall and we're going to make it really hard for them to. Oh, geez, that was kind of crazy. That I didn't even think about that, but that's true, because they were upset about having to come to him. He's like, yeah, this whole thing it's a mess. Like, there's no defenses at all. And they're like, well, what are you talking about? We've got a lot of guns up there. It's like, yeah, but you're also this massive trade port. Like, how it's so easy to sneak people in. Like, you need to build walls.
Yeah. You need some scanners, and you need to build a fucking wall.
You see that spaceport you have up there for trading? Put a wall on it. Whole thing will be solved.
Even as it goes, like, you gotta build it brick by brick. Like, holy shit, it really means a wall.
Yeah, and they're like, you really think Dorne is doing this to Terra? And he's like, I know for a fact Dorne's built like 100 walls of Terra, at least.
It's such a big fucking wall, guys.
It's the biggest wall you've ever seen. I'm telling you what. Like, it's going to be really hard to shoot through. It's going to be really hard to climb over. I've seen the wall, let me tell you.
And let me tell you what, Horse, he's paying for it.
We're going to make Horse pay for the wall. And that is how the Imperial Fist did. Oh, geez. I totally forgot. Pollux is actually literally building walls. Oh, man. Yeah, so he comes in here. He gets the job of putting up the defenses. And you can tell that he's going to have some... Oh, he's yawned. Probably heard it.
He should have waked the fuck up.
You can tell that he's probably going to have some words with... Antioch, the Iron Warrior. I don't understand this whole concept of Antioch being a traitor. You have the Imperium. and just because they're broken up into legions, I don't understand why they're like, everyone in that legion is now a traitor. Like if you had units of troops positioned in different stages of war, you know,
Yeah.
and one side defected, but people that were on the defected side didn't support them and ended up going helping the other stage. You know, it's like you wouldn't say that they were traitors.
Yeah. I mean, this was even brought up in fucking Outcast Dead of All books, where we had the ragtag group, and they're like, I don't know if I am even on my fucking Primarch side. I haven't seen them in 5 years, but I might go over there and figure out if I am or not. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's interesting the way that they think about a lot of those things because I don't, obviously, no one reading this would consider Antioch a traitor, but it
No.
seems like a lot of the Space Marines around him do.
Well, especially though Imperial Fist. I mean, these
Yeah.
motherfuckers. They
They
fucking were
are.
like kill like their own librarians because they're like, nope, don't want you even thinking about using some psychic powers, sir.
You can't, the Imperial Fists are the loyal of loyal. I'll tell you what, you can't deny it. You got
Yeah,
to give them
everyone
that.
says the Lion's the most loyal. Oh no.
Incorrect. It is definitely the
Rogadorn.
Imperial Fist. Rogaldorn is beyond loyal to a ridiculous amount. All right. Then we move on to the next set of people. They're all named. I don't know why they're all named. That's pretty ridiculous.
There's like 100 named characters in this book.
Fafnir, Fafnir, Fafnir.
Dude, you're
Anyway,
listening to it. You should know.
it
I
sounds.
had to make this shit up in my head.
It's when they say in the book, it's like Fenrir,
No, that makes no fucking sense.
but it's clearly written Fafnir.
Yeah, that's how I said it in my head.
But maybe it's like a language, like the way it's actually pronounced. You know, the Space Wolves names are pronounced in a very strange way because we saw that from Prospero Burns with Bear.
Yeah.
So basically, there's a group of Space Wolves. We saw this in Fear to Tread. Their story did not end well in Fear to Tread. They
Did
got
not.
ripped to shreds by
Some blood rage.
yeah, whatever his name was, the Axe or Shredder
The
or
flesh terror.
Flesh Terror. Roar, the Flesh Terror, the Blood Bowl. He saw the Space Wolves and took him down.
He got hit with the rock bottom.
It was the hell in the cell, and they were ready for it. So this is the squad sent to watch after Gilliman. I don't understand the mentality behind Malkador. He's like, I'm going to use the Space Wolves as a police force for all of the other legions.
Sending 5.
Yeah, he sends 5. And not only that, I'm like, what do you think? That seems like such a weird thing because you're sending them to all of the loyal legions, 5. That's not going to stop them from becoming traitors, first of
Yeah.
all. And you're presuming that the Space Wolves are loyal and then using a loyal legion that you know is loyal to just like go out there. Like I would love to see a Space Wolves legion or squad show up to the Iron Warriors. We're just here to make sure you're loyal, sir. We're not.
Well, you
We're
see,
gonna kill you
this
now.
used to be the Alpha Legion's job, but they're kind of fucking around. So he's like, fuck, who's next? And he's like looking around. He's like, Space Wolves?
They'll kill some things. And constantly through this book, this Space Wolf is like, we'll kill you, Gilliman. And Gilliman's like, there's like fucking 6 of you.
Yes. I can't want to talk about a certain scene in the fucking review, but man, I am not impressed by Gilliman's fighting ability at all.
Neither am I. Vulcan would have made short work of that.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have just fucking punched.
And then we have Thiel.
Which is another thing I need to harp on hard on the review.
Yes. I didn't know what happened to Thiel. I thought that Thiel went with Gilliman.
I also did. But I was told it might have. We'll talk later.
Okay. So the way what this book says is that Thiel requested to stay back on Calth. in order to fight the Underground War.
Yeah.
Which is also bullshit because we have not heard anything about Thiel in the Underground War, and we had an entire book on it.
Yeah, I figured he would have been on the ship that was chasing the word bearers.
Yeah.
And the greatest space battle ever.
Just think about it. It was the best. think about the best space battle you've ever seen. It's better than that.
100 times.
Moving on. Next. The greatest space battle all time. So Thiel was apparently last at Calth when we last saw him, and he stayed behind. So we get to maybe see Thiel. Maybe.
Helmet and all.
Yeah. Then we have Narek. So Narek was from Vulcan Lives.
Yep. He was a really badass word bearer who was hunting the Shattered Legion, which was really cool.
Yeah, so one thing that I think is interesting about Narek's presence in this book is it really makes me wonder if characters like Newman or other salamanders lived from that book, because Narek was on a planet that was obviously about to go to shit because demons were about to break through. It was like a much smaller storm than the other storm, but demons were going to come through. And Narek obviously survives. So I'm wondering, like, if others did. They're
Think about how awkward that is. Hey, I killed your sniper. You might need another one. So how about we all just kind of hang out and fuck out of here?
Curious to see if Narek ends up joining the good guys.
I wouldn't be surprised because it seems like he's like, fuck this weird chaos shit.
That's true, but I also kind of wonder, because even though he was really like, fuck this weird chaos shit in Vulcan Lives, he was still killing salamanders.
It seems like he had like a debt to pay to Alliance.
Yes, that's true. He did have a debt to pay to Elias, but after he paid the debt, he decided to kill the Iron Hand sniper anyway.
Well, I think that was more of a pride thing, though. He was like, "Look, man, we've been fucking with each other. Like, we're not friends. We can't be friends. Like, one of us has to die."
Yeah, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. Where it's like, I guess we can let that murder slide.
Gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
Yeah. So who knows whether or not what Narek's story is going to be. I'm excited to see more of Narek. I think he's a really cool character.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, we have a few people that I don't quite know. Barbos Ka and Ulcus Toll. They are called the Unburdened.
I don't think they popped up yet.
Okay. All right. Now we get on to Lionel Johnson.
So one thing so we have the short story. I think it was Feast of Crows when they boarded the Invincible Reasons, their ship, right?
Phenomenal short story.
Yes, so fucking good. So we have the Night Haunter, Sevatar, bunch of other Night Lords on the ship. They get imprisoned, and fucking Kurds are just running around the ship, killing people.
It's comical.
It's the most ridiculous shit I have ever read, and I can't wait until the conversation with Bootay and the line. He's like, "Yeah, man, I brought a present. Kurds is on my ship. Don't know where the fuck he is, but he's on there somewhere, and I can't find him and kill him. I need something else here."
I'd imagine that like the conversation goes something like this: Bootay, good news. I got Kurz on the ship. I'm like, oh, that's good. We were able to get Kurz. Like, not exactly.
I had to block off a lot of my ship.
I just escaped, is what happened. That's why I'm down here right now.
My own ship. Dude, that motherfucker's crazy. But this also makes me question the timeline a lot. Because we just had all the stuff with Vulcan.
This makes me question a lot, because we did just have all this stuff with Vulcan. And we only had, it's been 6 weeks since that battle. and that Vulcan thing happened instantly. So what I think happened, if you look at the timeline, I think Vulcan disappeared. Wait, let me think about that.
So what? Did Vulcan beat the shit out of Kurz, disappear? Kurz goes over and gets the shit beat out of him by the lion, almost dies, and then goes back again like a week later to try to kill the lion again.
No, this time is really messed up because if Vulcan's beating the shit out of Kurz and then teleports out, I'd imagine the teleport's instantaneous.
I don't know, man. He's just flying through space, holding onto his hammer real tight.
So if he's teleporting instantaneously, how can that time also be 6 weeks after the battle that Conrad Kurz got on the ship with the Invincible Reason?
Yeah, that's a real short time, and I'm assuming it took some time to fucking travel to Macragge.
Well, that's another thing I wanted to question that I think is very strange. Do you remember also what the Dark Angels have in their possession?
Sure. Oh, yeah, sure. They have the little teleporting thing.
They have the teleporting kid that's a giant ball that just is possessing a child. And what's weird about that is they're like, "Sir, we found a light." Why do they need it?
Yeah, honestly, they shouldn't, because he should be able to teleport wherever he wants, right?
Yeah, that thing should just be like, "Yeah, you want Macragge? I'll give you Macragge," and then goes there.
You want to go to Terra? Ah,
Yeah, this whole maybe
really
it's
craving
just
a burger.
McDonald's. Let's go. There's a lot of questions behind timelines with the lion specifically and the power of the thing that he has. Like, because that short story, The Feast of Crows, kind of throws a lot of things on its back because at the end of the short story, the lion, it seemed like he was going to go from that facility to Macragge. But now we know he actually showed up and started destroying the Night Lords.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, this is what I'm going to assume. Okay. This is my thought. That part with the lion, where it's like, oh, that was 6 weeks later, that's actually happening in the future. And the lion's not going to show up for like a month after Vulcan hits the ground. No, more than a month. 6 weeks. It'd be like 3 months till after Vulcan hits the ground.
You think so? Because it seemed like that kind of all happened pretty quick in the book. Like, we have literally the lion lands, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, you should come see this."
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Like, if you think about it the way it's written, the time does not add up there.
Also, think about how fucking, like, if he can just teleport wherever, right? Why not just teleport to Caliban real quick? Like, hey guys, I know you're upset. We really need some help though. Luther, come back.
I don't know what the deal is.
That would solve so many problems with the Dark Angels right there if you just did that.
That would be an immediate, because like at the end of the Lion story, they were like, they're betraying you. He's like, well, let's hop by real quick. Let's take a quick trip to Caliban.
Yeah, let's fix the problem real quick. Look, guys, I'm super fucking sorry. I didn't mean to forget you, but it happens. Also, Zahariel, I killed your cousin. He just pissed me off one day.
Out of anger. Oh, yes. I understand that the Imperium has completely destroyed your culture, but just try to forget about that. Luther,
just build some fucking walls
for your Dark God communion thing.
We really need that power. Come on. Come with me.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I don't understand the Lion timeline. I don't understand the power that he has with him right now. I think there's a serious like gap. Like it's just like a month of haze on when Vulcan.
Also, I guess we should also mention like what this thing is, because if people haven't read the short story, it was a short story with the Death Guard and the Iron Hands, where the Lion showed up to
the Night Lords.
Night Lords were there. Oh yeah, because they were like fighting them. But there's this planet that fucking
Mechanicum.
Mortarion and the Lion had like took it over or made it compliant, whatever. And they had this secret weapon there. And we find out it's this fucking teleporting thing.
it's some sort of device that's also telepathic. Like it talks. It has to like possess a human to
Yeah.
talk, and it's been like obsessed with the lion. It's also that's a short story where Typhus starts to become all nurgly.
Yeah, he starts getting like the rotting flesh.
Yeah. So I feel like the timeline and those short stories and the power that the lion has now isn't really super fleshed out because we don't. We're over here like, why isn't he just teleporting places? Maybe it can't do that. That's what I got from the reading, but maybe that's not actually how it works.
That's how they made it fucking sound a short story though.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. It seems a little strange. And also the whole Vulcan teleports out, appears on Macragge, and then all of a sudden it's 6 weeks later and the Night Lord's running around the ship.
Yeah, he's gotten his ass beat a lot. I honestly don't know if he's a good fighter because he just keeps getting the shit kicked out of him.
And he might be very low on the list, but he at least he's gotten the shit beat out of him way more than any other Primarch.
Yeah.
We
I
know
mean,
he's
Lorgar only had the
fought.
one.
Yeah, he's fought the Lion. He's fought Vulcan. He fought Rogel Dorn.
Korax.
Fought Korax.
Well, the Korax ran away.
Korax did
Lorgar
run.
Dorn is fucking having nightmares.
Yeah, I mean he beat up Rogel Dorn. All
Lorgar
right.
Dorn's still fucking scared and crying.
So that's the Lion. He's here. The background of the Lion and Vulcan, I guess we just kind of gave away a little bit that Vulcan is also in this book. He's not mentioned in the list, but if you read Vulcan Lives, it's very obvious very early on that Vulcan appears.
Yeah, I hope they explain like why he ended up at Macragge.
And not
Because
just like, it happened.
yeah, and not like, oh, I went to the thing that was this random device that my fucking captain was carrying around for years.
Yeah.
That does absolutely fucking nothing. Like, what the hell was that thing?
Yeah, it was very interesting that didn't really do anything.
It's on the planet too. Who knows?
Yeah. Then we have Holgwood.
I need you to wake the fuck up, dude.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'm not even
It
tired.
is
I'm
5
just randomly
p.m.
yawning. Holgwyn, voted lieutenant of the Deathwing. That seems very funny to me, that title. I haven't met Holgwyn yet. Deathwing, it means he's a part of the Dark Angels. The fact that it says voted lieutenant, I really want to know what happened. The Lion just keeps killing us because he's pissed.
Wait, what's the difference between a Deathwing and a Dreadwing?
I think they're just two different wings.
Fair enough.
They're two different groups.
Isn't it like the Deathwing like a chapter now, like 40K?
Yes.
That's interesting.
And so are the Dreadwings, maybe. It sounds familiar. But one thing that I think is very funny is that they're voted. And I want to think that the reason they're voted is because Conrad Kurz keeps killing everybody that is in charge. So they had to eventually take it to a vote.
Damn it, he's fucking pissed off again. He killed another one of us.
Or Conrad Kurz or the Lion. Like they both just keep killing a bunch of the Dark Angels.
Don't blame him.
They're
kind of dicks.
Yeah. Like you don't even see Cor Swain in here. I'm like, why not? I thought Cor Swain was supposed to be an important character.
Yeah.
If only we would have kept Namiel.
He's mentioned. Poor Namiel. R.I.P.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, and then you have Stinius, which is captain and master of the Invincible Reason. He's probably dead.
He is a human. Humans never last.
Yeah.
Except for the one chick in Betrayer. I think she might still be alive.
She is still alive.
That's all that matters. She was a bad bitch.
She was a bad bitch. Lady Theron Fianna.
Yeah, she was the main navigator of the Invincible Reason. She was the one who, in that short story,
yes, was like, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. Or
yeah.
Maybe I can navigate some crazy shit, some crazy maneuvering.
Yeah.
And then we have John Grammaticus.
Yes, and he is bringing with him the weapon from Vulcan Lives, the little spearhead.
Mm-hmm. And we have another perpetual, Damon Prytanis.
I'm
Now,
pretty sure he's the one from First Heretic.
is he? Not First
Think
Heretic.
so.
Betrayer.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're the one who took the Blessed Lady.
Are we sure?
I think.
Let me
I'm
see.
like 95% sure. So just a recap for those since Gavin just disappeared. And
Almost knocked down another model.
don't worry, it's only me that breaks them.
Give me the character list of my big ass Betrayer.
Yep,
book
you're
here.
fine. So I was reminding people what happened. So in Betrayer, a perpetual came to the Blessed Lady's like gravesite, which she went to visit finally, and was like, "Look, they made you a perpetual. Come with me." And they burned him alive. The Astartes did, and then he appeared again because he's a fucking perpetual. Took the Blessed Lady and bounced. I'm pretty sure it's Damon.
It is. You are
Perfect.
correct.
That's who I
It is
thought.
Damon. So this is the person that saved the Blessed Lady and Betrayer, or took the Blessed Lady and Betrayer. We don't know if necessarily saved her. He seems kind of cool from the things I've seen of him.
Yeah. So I asked one of our Discord, our frequent Discorder. I don't know what to call them. Discorders. Sure.
Discordees.
Anyway, yeah, that'll work. But I asked them about Damon. He's like, I think he's like the fixer of the Cabal.
Yeah, so so far in the story, it definitely seems like he whacks people.
Yes, I mean, literally in this last chapter I read, like he just seems like this badass, but he also kind of has an attitude. Like, this isn't spoiling anything. Like he's like literally just like going around the town, just like killing people that are coming after him because he's like mad. He's like, I really don't want to get fucking wet. Like complaining about like trying to like hide and he has to like go through the river. So he's just like fucking killing people. Like I don't want to get fucking wet.
Yeah.
Dude, what is happening right now?
Another question of the perpetuals. It's like, what is their goal? What are they doing? Is all Pearson going to be the one that sacrifices himself for the Emperor? Was that a lie? Who knows? Had a conversation with Trainwreck about that. Corrected some things. I stated that I think in our lodge meeting episode with the Horus Hour, I said that the character that sacrificed himself to save the Emperor was unnamed, and that's not true. Previously, it was known as all
person.
not all Pearson. It was
The
something very close to it.
yeah.
All like all Pier or something like
Something
that.
like that, yeah.
And obviously, when all Pearson was introduced, people were like, that's definitely him. But then something happens in the Siege of Terra that I did look up. That's like, oh, maybe that's who actually sacrifices themselves, and that's what they read it by. It's all really interesting. So I just think there's a lot of question marks about the perpetuals and what they're gonna do. And I think you have someone here like, is John Grammaticus and Damon working together? They both work for the Cabal, but are they going to change the way they think?
Yeah, well, how this preview or how this like so far what I've read, it seems like the Cabal are doubting John, so they sent Damon to like check on him.
As they should. I
So
hope
it makes
so.
me wonder if the Perpetuals are able to kill each other. Like
I don't think so. I think it's very much just the thing that
well, it
you
seems
have
that
to use one of those weapons.
the people of the Cabal are able to kill them.
The people of the Cabal?
Yeah, because it's mentioned in the book that like, oh, like they'll permanently kill me. I think John says this,
I don't know.
which is
Maybe.
really interesting. Because I mean, we know like one of them is an Eldar, and then, like some of them are just like random fucking like Xenos things that we have no idea what the fuck they are.
We do get like a very good synopsis in this book of the Cabal's plan. And I find this whole Cabal thing also very interesting, but like not super well explained or done, because in this book it talks about how they want the chaos to win. The
Yeah.
Cabal want chaos to win. Like that's confirmed. We heard that in the Alpha Legion, or in the book Legion. They want chaos to win, but they want them to win so egregiously that chaos reigns really hardcore for a little bit and then dies off. And the Erebus, who's like a huge fan of chaos, is trying to help them do that. We saw him help John Grammaticus escape previously.
Yes.
But he was also talking to a changer of ways. Maybe there's some weird shit going on there where he's like, John needs to live to thwart the Cabal's plan. I don't know. Because we saw like a very brief clip in Vulcan Lives where Erebus is talking to a changer of ways, talking about how so-and-so needs to die or live or whatever. And then Erebus goes and saves John Grammaticus.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there is a demon chasing after Damon.
Yeah, there is.
Which is weird. Because it's like, don't you think if Erebus is on the side of the Cabal, wouldn't the demons be on the side of the Cabal?
Yeah, the whole thing's very weird. I hope there's like a short story of the Cabal. It was like almost just like a round table of them like going through their plan. Just so I know what the fuck they're doing. And maybe who they are.
And why there's people that are against them that don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, why are there demons fighting you if you want chaos to win? Do they know that you're trying to like hurt them in the long run? Then why is Erebus helping you?
Yeah, also like wasn't Eldrad also talking to like someone else too?
John Grammaticus.
Yeah, what the well, no, I mean like in Fulgrim.
Eldrad tried to talk to Fulgrim.
Right, no, like in the book, like wasn't he like talking to like another like thing? Like off to like the side like before? Or maybe it was just like the spirits of old Eldar.
Yeah.
Or dead Eldar or something like that.
I don't think he was talking to like someone from the Cabal.
No, I didn't think it was the Cabal. It was almost like in my head I was thinking
like a construct that was his friend.
Yeah, maybe that was what I was remembering.
Well, we know that Eldrad, we are guessing that it's Eldrad. We don't know that. There's an Eldar that reached out to John Grammaticus in Vulcan Lives. And he seemed to want the same thing that the Cabal did, but he has different like end goals. Like he wanted the same immediate thing for John. So there's so many players, and you have the demons, you have Erebus, you have John Grammaticus, you have the Cabal, you have Damon, you have a changer of ways, you have Eldrad Oathwand, and you're like, what all do you guys want? Like, what are your goals?
What is the plan here?
Yeah, it seems like there's just a lot of bluff around the Perpetuals right now. And they'll just like, oh, there's a demon chasing me. Like, why is there a demon chasing all Pearson? You know, I don't understand this. And if all Pearson is going to be the one to go sacrifice himself for the Emperor, why did John Grammaticus send him on that mission?
Well, from what I think all Pearson's going to end up on the Vengeful Spirit. Because he's supposed to see Horus kill Sanguineous.
Yeah. Well, that happens in the Siege of Terra.
Yeah, in the Siege, but he has that vision on the Vengeful Spirit.
That's when someone sacrifices themselves to save the Emperor on the Vengeful Spirit.
Maybe it is old person because he's going to be there.
It's like, why would John Grammaticus send him on that mission to save the Emperor?
The whole fucking thing.
If the idea from the Cabal is to have Chaos win, it just seems very strange. I love reading about the Perpetuals. I think they're a really cool idea. I think like John is a fantastic character. He's a lot of fun to read about. All's really cool to read about. Maybe this Damon guy will be, but the point is, no one knows what the fuck is going on.
No, not at all. It's just it's the Wild Wild West at all times.
Yeah. The last character that's mentioned that we know of is Sanguineous. So Sanguineous came right off of the back heels of Fear to Tread. The last thing we saw from him was he was escaping Hell in the Cell.
Cygnus Prime.
He was leaving Cygnus Prime, and he was heading to Terra, and obviously he found himself.
You know what's this is an ultra topic, but not super off. When I was looking for the books on fucking Barnes and Noble, I kept showing me Spanish versions. They called Fear to Tread Cygnus Prime. And I was like, that's weird.
Interesting. I do know that they change like titles of books for different languages and cultures because maybe there's not like either a good translation or it may sell more. Or in the case of the Chinese government, maybe the name's banned.
I loved Legion. It was Legion. It said the hyphen on the E. I was like, all right.
Now we know. It's like previously we were very confused, and now we understand. Yes. Yep. That's all the characters. Obviously, we have Vulcan. We know where Vulcan is. He's hurtling to the ground like a meteorite.
Literally, he gets fucking burned up in the atmosphere and everything.
Yep. I don't know if anyone else. There is somebody that I think is important that I. Who am I looking for? It's the girl.
Uritin, like
Utin.
Eurten. Yeah, Uten maybe.
Tarasha Utin.
Yeah, she's like an advisor to Gilliman. It's like the best way for me to describe her.
One thing that I think is we can talk about is Gilliman himself and the position that he's in and where he kind of came from. So Gilliman is obviously the Primarch that is ruling over Ultramar. What some people may not know is he owned
Is
Ultramar.
adopted.
He's definitely not. He might be.
He's totally adopted.
He's definitely better than everyone else. Are you saying he's adopted by the Emperor?
No. He's adopted by his step family.
Well, all of them are.
Yeah, but he's the only one that had success.
As a matter of fact, the only person that gets bragging rights to not be adopted is Conrad Kurz, because no one would adopt him.
Like, dude, that guy's fucked up.
Yeah, literally nobody wanted him. Even Angron's like,
I don't. Was Corax is the fucking prison?
yeah, someone adopted Angron. You know, the gladiators did.
No, I said Corax.
Yeah, and Corax was adopted by prisoners. No one wanted the Nighthawker. But he was adopted. But what's important to know is before the Emperor actually found Gilliman, Gilliman had already united a majority, if not all, of Ultramar.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm kind of competing for the biggest empire right now. You know,
whose dick is bigger?
Exactly. Gilliman is in a bit of a situation where he believes he's one that believes he should have been War Master. I kind of agree. Personally, I think Gilliman would have been an okay War Master.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely like even like when we went through our list, like he was one of the ones that we would have picked. It was like Gilliman, Horus, and Sanguineous is like really the top three.
Yeah. And Gilliman's in the situation where at the beginning of this book, he has no idea which of his brothers is alive. You know, he heard about the death of Ferrus Manus. He presumes that Vulcan and Corax are dead. He doesn't know where Sanguinius is. He doesn't know where the Khan is. He doesn't know who's betrayed the Emperor. He hasn't been able to communicate with the Emperor. He thinks that maybe Horus has beelined it for Terra and blown up both Dorne and the Emperor. So he's like, I don't know, maybe I'm the Emperor now.
Well, and the fucking like advisor chick too is like, you just need to declare that this is the new Imperium. And he's like, whoa.
Hey.
I don't think we should do that because what if we're not? It's gonna look really bad.
This is the entire core concept of this book is you have all of these people coming out and Gilliman's like, oh, you haven't heard from Terra? You haven't heard from Terra? Doesn't look good. And they're like, what are you trying to say, Gilliman? What are you trying to say? He's like, guys, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to say anything. Just saying, but also not saying.
Oh, the Astronomicon's out. Ooh, wasn't that dad? Fuck. This is not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of maybe we should have a plan B. Did I smell heresy? You have the Space Wolves running around. Did I smell heresy? And Gilman's like, oh, no, I think it was him. I think he said something.
Although, you know, if Macragge's the one that sent the Space Wolves and they ended up there, shouldn't it make sense that they're still alive?
Well, they haven't had contact with Malcador. They just got their little paper.
Right, but I mean, had like the seal and everything. You could at least assume.
Yeah, but they left. So what we know is that the wolves left to go take out Magnus before the Imperium knew about the heresy. In every scenario except for the Outcast Dead, which is a lie.
Also, speaking of Outcast Dead, Graham on Twitter earlier said something that I think the Thunder Warrior we might see again in the Siege of Terra. And one of the last 2 books.
The hell is his name? Something stupid.
Something stupid.
That would be okay.
Sure. I guess that means that the book went somewhere, I guess.
There's like
it went from a 1 to a 2.
There is a lot of short stories that spin off of Outcast Dead, including a short story that I'm kind of intrigued in wanting to listen to or watch or read. You wouldn't watch it. It's the one where the hunter goes after the son of Horus guy, the Luna Wolf. Yeah. Nagasena.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Only redeemable character. Yeah. So Gilliman is constantly in this state of just, how do I continue to fight back Horus and give people hope in a ray of sunshine without being heretical?
Yeah, it's very interesting that I feel like it'd be so hard though to be like, oh yeah, there's definitely no chance that any of my brothers are still alive. Like, I mean, they're all fucking Primarchs. Like, you have to, and like they weren't all in the same place. Like, only a few of them went to Isfahan. Like, we know the Khan's not there. We know Sanguineous wasn't there. We know Dorne's not there. Like, there's in the Lion. Like, we know at least those 4 weren't there.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to fucking kill, honestly, those 4.
Right. I think once they sent Russ to go kill Magnus, I think everyone presumes Magnus is dead.
Yes, that too.
They know Pharaoh's man is dead. They are about 99% sure Vulcan is dead. Right?
Yeah.
Only Dorne has heard from Corvus Corax. Right?
So, yeah. One thing I also want to talk about with Gilliman, in this book, when he finally meets with the Lion, there's a scene where he's like talking to himself. He's like, there's only 2 brothers that I look up to. Horus, which makes sense, I guess.
Sure.
And the fucking Lion. And I don't understand why he would look up to the fucking Lion. I guess the whole "we're the first" thing is not. I don't understand why this is such a fucking big deal. It's like, oh yeah, I super respect like Sanguineous and Magnus, but man, I really look up to the Lion.
I think a lot of it has to do with jealousy. They make Horus the War Master, so Gilman's like, oh, and then they the Lion is the first, so he gets all the cool toys. And Gilman's like, oh, I want to have the cool toys. I want to be War Master. And they're 2 like of the worst people to look up to. One of them goes and betrays the Imperium for chaos, and the other one does it just unknowingly out of stupidity all the time. It's funny to me because it's like, yeah, Horus betrayed the Imperium, but Chaos just constantly tricks the Lion into betraying the Imperium.
I really don't understand like why he wouldn't look up to Sanguineous. Like, he looks like Sanguineous as like an equal. Like, that makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense.
Like, he's the fucking angel.
Yeah, I feel like Sanguineous should be the lauded one from him, for sure.
Dude, what if like fucking like Magnus was the War Master? That'd be a weird timeline.
That would be a very weird timeline. I would like to do I would like to see a what if universe in 40K or in the Horus Heresy, where it's like, what if so and so was War Master? Just a quick little like 2-minute animation.
We should make one of our special episodes of like our own head canon of like what ifs.
That would make me subscribe to Warhammer Plus.
It's taken this long, and we just need that one thing. Come on, just do something cool.
If they released an animation of what if so and so were War Master, and then like what happens on the Chaos Gods trying to convince them, whether or not things go good or bad, yada yada.
The lion, it's just everyone except for the lion turns. It's a fucking dick. Fuck him. Let's kill him.
Even the Emperor, he's like, yeah, this was such a bad decision.
This dude has lost us years.
We've lost the entire war. The only planet we have left is Terra because the lion is so stupid. Like, you know who works really well together? Conrad Kurz with anyone else. Pair them up.
Oh my! I really love that every time we see Conrad Kurz with another Primarch, they're like, "Man, what the fuck? Why did I get stuck with this?"
Yes, I would love to do a little "What If" series where we kind of talk about, what if Dorne was in charge? We wouldn't get anything done. There'd just be a fuck ton of walls everywhere.
Look, this planet is not compliant. It is time we build a fucking wall around it.
Yeah, be interesting.
I like it. Yeah, we should do that. We should just for a special episode, just do a what if thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of them, because this will be a lot.
Yeah. Works for me.
Sweet.
I think that's it we have for the preview of Unremembered Empire.
Yes. So next week we'll be reviewing it. I think we'll have a lot more to talk about in the review.
There was so much to talk about in the preview. There were so many characters. So I think this book makes a really good sense of like a preview and a review, because you're like, it's all coming together. How did it all get there? What are some things that are shaky?
Especially since a lot of these were short stories that finally is coming to fruition. If you didn't know anything about the short stories, it's just why is Kurz on the Invincible Reason? It's trust us. None of us know. He's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is definitely why we do it. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, next week we'll be reviewing. We both have about probably 200-ish pages left to go. And it will be a good read. This whole book so far has been good. I'm enjoying it. Just even before I finish it, I would probably say I think it's going to be an A-tier book.
A-tier for sure.
But we'll see what the final results are next week. As always, if you want to contact us, you can join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. We theorycraft. I think we're going to be doing a D&D thing on there soon. It's not going to be it's you have your turn. You have 12 hours ish. We have to do your stuff. We'll see. We're gonna do a test run, see how it goes. But look out for that. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So get on the Discord. It's pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. We also have tips enabled on our Twitter. If you feel like contributing to the podcast, it all comes back in. We appreciate it very much. You can always email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. Leave us a review on whatever you are listening to. You can, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit the little bell, let us know whenever we release a new episode. And that's all of our stuff. We'll be back next week, guys. You have a good one.